Hi, my name is Soyoung Park, and I'm in a program called Western Society and Culture at Liberal Arts College of Concordia. The presentation is about my research project for Concordia Undergraduate Student Research Awards 2021, and the title is History, Genealogy, and Identity, Narratives by Korean American Diaspora Writers. Here's the content of my presentation. My primary research sources are 3 novels: Clay Walls by Gloria Han, pen name Kim Ron-young, Pachinko by Min-jin Lee, and A Gesture Life by Chang-rae Lee. The 3 novels are narratives about Korean immigrants in Japan and the United States in the 20th century. I found 4 main topics shared by these novels: womanhood, gender dynamics, racism, and identity. Before going through these 4 topics, I would like to briefly introduce each book. Clay Walls is written by Gloria Han Ne Kim. Her pen name was Kim Ron-young. Interestingly, Han chose her pen name to be Korean, putting the family name first and then the given name later. Please feel free to stop the video to read the summarized description of each character from each book. In Pachinko by Min-jin Lee, the story revolves around Sunja and her family in Osaka, Japan, living as the colonized in the colonizer's country. Again, please feel free to pause and read the summary. Here is Sunja's family tree in Pachinko. A Gesture Life by Chang-rae Lee describes the World War II experience of an old man named Franklin Doc Hara. Here's the timeline of the novel's main characters. I'd like to talk about the 4 main topics I briefly mentioned before. The first topic is womanhood. In Pachinko, Sunja's mother tells Sunja this quote when she is suffering from her regret in meeting Hansu. "A woman's lot is to suffer. We must suffer." 3 novels highlight the weight of womanhood in the 20th century, mainly through the absence of a patriarch or woman's sexuality. All of the characters on this slide, from Hesu to Sunny, lack the presence of men or a father figure in their lives, which leads them to eventually suffer as women. For example, Kei from A Gesture Life is a comfort woman forced into sex slavery by the Imperial Japanese Army. Her family sold her because they wanted to keep their son, her brother, away from the Imperial Japanese Army's forced enlisting. The main reason was that she was the only daughter without a husband in the family. In these books, readers hardly find women who can exercise their autonomy, as the period of the books is in the early 20th century. I summarized this topic as Silenced Woman Abusing Men, as I captured many events where female characters fail to be heard or to decide for themselves in a male-dominant society. The phrase abusing men refers to the male characters perpetrating others in the books, even though the others are men like themselves. For example, Lieutenant Kurohata, young Doc Hara, witnesses various kinds of violence during World War II. He disassociates with these men as his trauma is impossible to manage, especially when it comes to the death of Kei. Racism in the novels is legally justified and more explicit than nowadays racism. Before starting the conversation on racism, I would like to note that racism occurs when there is bias and privilege in action. Therefore, the case of Pachinko depicts racism as the Japanese hold more legal privileges compared to the Korean immigrants in Japan who are colonized by Japan at the moment. The quote is from Clay Walls, and it is told by Clara when she tells Jesus why she was rejected to even visit an open house for rent. He doesn't want Orientals for tenants. Jesus and Faye's lives during the segregation era poses a question whether the situation got better now. And Clay Walls is not the only book depicting such pain. All three books offer various critiques on the current situations in terms of racism by describing how prevailing racism was in the 20th century. For example, have we truly progressed in fighting against racism when we still see Black, Indigenous, people of color's communities facing legal inequality, racial profiling, and prejudice? In Pachinko, Noah, the son of Sonja, believes that his biological father is Pek Isaac, a devout, kind-hearted pastor. Sonja tries to hide that Hansu is actually Noah's birth father. Still, she fails as Noah's Japanese girlfriend finds the father-son-like similarity between Hansu and Noah. Eventually, Noah leaves his family and Sonja and decides to live a life as a Japanese man, Nobuo. After many years, Sonja wanted to meet Noah again with Hansu's help. As soon as Noah learns that Hansu has found him, he commits suicide. And the quote is from the book A Gesture Life. In my case, everyone here knows perfectly who I am. Doc Hara says this quote when he was struggling with his identity in between the traumatic past and discomforting present because of the relationship he has with Sonny and Mary Burns and Mrs. Hickey. What if they were all Koreans? This quote is from Pachinko by Minjin Lee. Etsuko, Musasu's lover, thinks to herself when she's at the Yokohama ward office with him and his son, Solomon. It was Solomon's 14th birthday. However, he had to come to this office to register himself as an alien. He was born and raised in Japan, but legally he is not Japanese. Since Etsuko was born and raised as Japanese, this experience shocked her. The author, Minjin Lee, says that she wishes everyone to have this experience as a Korean through reading her novel. She thinks it'll allow us to be compassionate to one another and make the world a better place. And I totally agree with Lee. Even though I'm a Korean from Korea, reading these novels and secondary sources, such as Minor Feelings by Kathy Park Hong, expanded my understanding of colonialism in Korean history and its impact on the Korean diaspora in North America and Japan. Lastly, these authors' works with their ancestors' history mean confirming their genealogical roots, which at some point becomes important for those who are constantly erased, silenced, and excluded from a multicultural society where racial dynamics exist. Thank you so much for listening to my video presentation. If you have any question regarding my research project, feel free to contact me via email to this email address, soyoung.park@mail.concordia.ca. I am planning to publish my research paper on an undergraduate journal within this academic year. Thank you so much for your attention again.